Alright, so I'm Sovereign Sage, and not very many people would really care about this game. I actually completed it a very long time ago. And I was trying to go through it and decide what I wanted to do, since I've been trying to upload cutscenes for a lot of games that I have lately. However, there's about 26 or 27 cutscenes in this entire game, and in order for me to upload them all individually, I would have to upload that many videos, and I find that to be incredibly ridiculous. So what I've decided to do is to go through and read each of the chapter cutscene descriptions, and then just play each of them and make it one full video. So for chapter 1, this one here, Another Beginning, is actually the game's main opening trailer. And I already did a separate video for that, so I won't be playing that. That's just the game's opening CGI, main CGI opening. So chapter 1 basically starts here. So chapter 1, Defense of Yokohama. So the awakening, a terrible disaster in which countless Oni wipe out the world of man in a simple night. Yokohama was also attacked. Panic descended until warriors arrived to fight back.
その夜、世界は暗闇に閉ざされた。来たぞ！下げ！ 戦域にいるすべての者の符に通達する。これよりこの地に第一次防衛線を築く。港に侵攻するすべての敵を排除し、鬼の存在は良いし、もはや我々が身を隠す理由はない。人目を気にせず鬼を撃て。了解。
Alright, Chapter 1, The Door of Time. During the Battle of Yokohama, an Oni gate opened in the sky, and a bizarre Oni appeared. Sovereign was swallowed by the clouds, awakening in Mohabara village, far to the west.
つ。おい博士、妙なやつが倒れてるぜ。
帰るぞ。そいつはお前がおぶってやれ。
俺かよ。たく面倒ごとばっか押し付けやがって。
Alright, Chapter 1, The Call to Battle. Sovereign wanders the village and meets Kuon, Tokisugu, and the professor, who explain the situation. All of a sudden, the alarm bell rings out. Chapter 1, Brute Claw. Sovereign and the others head to the Age of Peace to find some missing guards. Tracking the Oni leads them to a Brute Claw lurking in the darkness. That twitching though. Chapter 2, Defense of Sakimori. Heading to defend Sakimori Fortress, Sovereign meets Tsubaki of the Guards and Kamuna of the Samurai. These desperate strangers join forces to fight a terrible blade tail. Chapter 2, The Raid. The village should have been safe, protected by the barrier, but the flying Oni Suckwing pierced through it. The ball of lightning unleashed by it struck the outsiders' living quarters. I feel like I read that wrong. I read it too slow. Chapter 2, Suckwing. Losing Kazue, Tsubaki collapses into grief. However, she wipes away the tears in order to take down the Oni responsible for the attack and avenge the loss of her father. Suckwing was channeling Lady No there for a minute. Sorry. Chapter 2, Light of Lanterns. Lanterns float down the surface of the river as insiders and outsiders come together to mourn the dead. Tsubaki holds back her tears and bids farewell to her father.
迷える魂たちよ、どうか安らかあるべきところに帰りたまえ。さようなら父さん。さようなら。
Chapter 3 Collapse. A single gunshot shatters Kaguya's dream. At her talks for peace between the samurai and guards, Manazuru is shot by an assassin. Seeing her fall, Toya draws his sword to fight.
では、両部隊の和解の証として、互いに握手を交わすのだ。さあ、握手を。
貴様と握手など身の毛のようだ。だが、かぐや様のたっての願いだ。誰が言った？汁物を捕らえろ！真鶴、しっかりしろ！そんな
顔するな。この程度の傷、すぐ治る。そしたらまた剣の稽古をしよう。子供の頃のように一緒に。
冗談はよせ。目を開けろ。死んだ。まだお前に見せたい世界がある。
何をする？やめろ、トーヤ！やだ！
全体抜刀。この絵を打ち、神垣の巫女を脱出する。
I know that wasn't very clear, but Manazuru is actually Kamuna's sister. But the way he said that, I still have much I want to show you. He made it sound like it was his wife or something. It's actually his sister. Chapter 3 Internal Conflict. The situation went from bad to worse. The samurai rushed the heavenly cave. Benazuki fought to stop them. Then Homura appeared and kidnapped the sacred shrine maiden.
あんま悠長にしてると巫女さんさらっちまうぜ。
I don't know why Hamura kind of reminds me of Yukimura Sonata, What Are We Doing? And like Toya's like Takatoro Toto. Anyway, Chapter 3, Quadrectrium. I said that horribly wrong. Kamuna dashes to save his sister. Responding to the professor's request, he seeks life-saving herbs. However, in his way stands the name I can't say correctly, the bane of countless slayers. Chapter 3, Return to Mahorobara, whatever. The heroes of Mahorobara return to the village. A blazing Chthonian fiend has seized the opportunity to attack. Kaguya, Sovereign, and the Slayers face off with a terrible threat.
Toya, 私は私の責任を果たさなければならない。けれど、それは一人ではできないことだ。お主とヤクモの助けなくしてはできないことなのだ。だからお願いだ。私と一緒に来てほしいのだ。私と一緒に戦ってほしいのだ。あとはすべてお前に託すのだ。私の英雄よ。
She's so cute. Chapter 3, The Shrine Maiden. To defend all equally, in order to achieve this dream, Kaguya lifts the Machina barrier stone. Her tiny frame trembles with power, intent that no more innocent blood be spilled.
シナドの風の天の八重雲を吹き放つことのごとく、朝の握り、夕の握りを朝風、夕風の吹き払うことのごとく、払いたまえ、清めたまえ。
Chapter 4, The Starry Sky. Homura awoke on the back of an Oni, arriving at a waterhole. The Oni watches as Hamura drinks. As has he been saved? The calls of the cursed species ring out beneath the stars. Chapter 4, Crispices. As though called by his friends, Homoda arrives to fight the Crispices, to take back the voice of his dear friend from the Oni. That was how he hoped to atone for his past failure. They actually spelled that wrong. It's supposed to be a space where it says to atone, but they put it together so it looks like it's to-atone. That's why I read it like that. Anyway. Chapter 4, Wingspawn. Wingspawn, an Oni, capable of turning people into Oni. Bonazuki desperately tries to defeat the Oni that killed Saika, former chief of Mahoroba, and that now threatens her new friends. Chapter 5, Leo Holman. With Mahoroba under martial law, Sovereign follows Kyo's advice to join up with the 100 Demon Corps. They take on the cunning Leo Holman in order to save Soma. I swear, some of the way these Oni move is so ridiculous. They're very, like, jitterish. Chapter 5, One Final Battle. The time to settle things has come. Having fought alone for so long, Gwen now calls on her friends to help defeat the Drakwayne. Sovereign answers the call.
ネイリング、私に力を貸してくれ。友を守れるだけの力を。来い、白蓮。私はここにいるぞ。
Yeah, so basically, every time she draws that sword, it summons that dragon. And every time she draws her weapon, she's been having to fight it by herself. Chapter 5, The March of Evil. Immediately after liberating the village, a brute beast that attacked Yokohama begins a march on Mahoroba. Sovereign stands in its way. That is a lot of demons. Okay. Chapter 5 Brute Beasts. The defense of Yokohama goes on. Breaking through the horde of Oni, Sovereign reaches their commander. After 10 years, the final showdown with the Brute Beast begins. It's like Hideyoshi from Sengoku Basara. Chapter 6 Terminal Oni. Tokiwa no Orochi, the Terminal Oni, said to have wiped out an ancient civilization. Shiki seeks to break the seal and cross time itself. His red Machina stone turns him into an Oni. Chapter 6 Beyond Time. Sovereign and the others pursue Shiki across time. They travel back 10 years to the Awakening and Yokohama to fight alongside Kuyo in the past. Chapter 6 Return Home. Tokiwa no Orochi is defeated. Sovereign and the others lift their demon hands to return home. Left alone, Kuyo finally understands and considers the distant future. I like that little roll that Kamuna does. So basically Kuyo, at the very, very beginning of the game, you like fight for him. You're like on his unit, and you're like one of his higher up slayers. And you disappear from the port, and he's unable to find you for 10 years. And then he winds up finding you when you travel back in the past from the future that you were sent to. So you were sent to the future, and then when you come back to try to follow Shiki, you meet Kuyo again, and he sees you. He then sees you go back and teleport back to the future, and he realizes where you have been the entire time. And that's why he says, I look forward to meeting you again in the future. That's why he says that, because he recognizes you. Because you knew him all along, but none of the other characters knew him, or knew that you had known him until you meet him in the story. Chapter 6, Last Gasp. The fight was not finished yet. Shiki stabbed the professor and dragged her into an Oni gate. Unable to move, her allies could only watch. I could spoil this, but I'm gonna wait a second. So chapter 6, the final battle. The final battle. Wandering inside the Oni gate, Sovereign follows the light of Professor's demon hand and confronts Shiki. Defeated, Shiki is reduced to black dust. So, what I was trying to say, that I didn't want to ruin it, Hakase was actually a descendant from an ancient civilization, and Shiki is actually her father. She was like you at the beginning of the game. She got teleported through an Oni gate, which actually sent her, I think it sent her to the future, and her father, Shiki, had actually been trying to find her. But he had no idea what she had looked like because years had gone past since he had actually saw her since she disappeared. So he was going based on an old memory of her on what he thought she could have looked like had she had grown older. And it turns out throughout the whole time, Shiki is actually her father. But because she hasn't known her father, she didn't really see him as such. She only ever saw him as the antagonist, as a bad guy. Even though she realized that he was her father, she never calls him father once. She only calls him Shiki. And to her, he really is no longer her father, since he's the one that basically killed her, almost killed her, and had been hunting her down. He actually refuses to believe that she is his daughter, and he doesn't actually believe it until the end, but even then, he still tries to come after her, which is kind of really weird. So chapter 6, Toukiden. My horrible village is finally unified. Everyone is excited by the appointment of a new chief. Having defeated the Oni and Shiki, Sovereign enjoys a moment of happiness.
今日という日を迎えられたことを私は嬉しく思う。多くの者が傷つき 多くの血が流された。大切な人たちがいなくなってしまった。それでも私たちは前進しなければならない。過ちも正しさも等しく受け継いで、そのために今こそ皆に里のお頭を返そう。紅月、
お前よ、まほろばの里のお頭とする。皆を導くお人となれ。
お受けいたします。一つだけ皆さんに伝えたいことがあります。外様と貴殿、侍と近衛、長く里を分断してきたこの対立を私は除かねばなりません。故に今日をもって侍、近衛両討伐隊を解散統合します。当夜ヤクの前、侍もなく近衛もなく、皆を等しく導いてくれますか。
いいだろう。依存はないさ。
新部隊の隊長は決まっているのか。
はい、隊長はあの者を置いて他にいません。
おい、何黄昏れてんだ。隊長になったんだろ。シャキッとしな。あいつも今頃草葉の陰で喜んでるだろうぜ。
勝手に殺すな。やれやれ、死に損なった。これから忙しくなるな。人は生まれながらな平等でも自由でもない。漆黒に縛られ生きる。だが意志する限り出口は必ずある。お前はどう生きたい？仲間とその答えを探すといい。いつか言ったな。お前が何者かは問わない。お前の意志がお前の全てだ。
こうして一つの戦いが終わった。里では相変わらず小競り合いが絶えない。それでも少しずつ何かが変わっている。この旅がどこに続いているのか、それは誰にもわからない。けれど恐れず進むだろう。 彼方に見えるまほろばの地を目指して。
神谷さん、会議のお時間です。
今行くのだ。
Chapter 6, The Long Journey. Sovereign gathered countless Matama, joined with powerful allies, and fought across time. The distant past and future have been connected, and history goes on. Skip it, super skip. Yeah, I only read that one because that's the game's ending credits, and I can't actually show that. It actually blocks it for me, so... So basically, these are all of the cutscenes for the chapters. Some of these cutscenes are basically just like Oni boss battles. So what I'm most likely going to do is I will go through and upload only the important cutscenes. Like I will upload them individually by themselves. And other cutscenes such as like boss fights, I will not be showing those. But other cutscenes that are considered main cutscenes, like some of these, I will upload these individually by themselves. I just wanted to do a video showing all cutscenes as well as reading the synopsises for each chapter. I don't really do this for every game because it would take me forever to do it. But that is basically all of the cutscenes. There's only 6 chapters in this game, and I had actually gone through it a long time ago. But there is a lot that's missing though. Just because you see the cutscenes doesn't mean that that's actually what happened, because there's some bits that are actually missing. In between chapter 5 and 6 in particularly, there is a cutscene where you as the main character, or you're like the main focal point, you disappear because you feel like you don't belong in the time that you're in, and you feel like you don't belong, so you actually fade out and disappear, and the others have to try to find you and convince you that you belong there, and you actually disappear. And that's where this part, right in between these two parts here, that's why it says Sovereign follows the light, wandering inside the Oni gate, because I get teleported out, you get warped out, and you get stuck in between the present and the past because you're not sure where you belong. You don't know if you want to go back to the past or stay in the future, and you kind of become trapped. That happens here, the return home. When Kuyo sees you, all of the others teleport back, but you don't. You get trapped. And that's another part that's missing. But then again, these are only cutscenes, not actual in-game dialogue cutscenes, or interactions rather. So there are some bits that are missing. There's also another part when you encounter the wing spawn, you get hit by one of the scales trying to shield Benezuki, and if you get hit, or if you touch one of the scales, it can turn you into a demon, into an Oni. And there's a part where Benezuki basically uses her demon hand to save you. So that's missing. There's a whole bunch of other interactables too that are not shown. So yeah. Basically though, I don't really know why I wanted to do this. I really don't know why, but that's all cutscenes. And like I said, the main opening CGI I already recorded separately by itself. So for other cutscenes, I'll go through and decide on which ones I want to upload as main cutscenes, but I most likely will upload the ones that I like the most. Like I said, some of these are just like introductions. This is like a title drop for this one here. The Door of Time is a title drop. And some of these other ones, this is like the one of the Suckling trying to get through. It's not really an important cutscene, so I most likely will not upload that one by itself. The Light of Lanterns was kind of like a main cutscene, so I might upload that by itself. And so forth and so on. I probably won't say which cutscenes I will upload individually, because this one, the Starry Sky, I guess was kind of like a main cutscene by itself as well. This is probably a main one, and some of these other ones are just like boss interactions, boss battles. So I have an idea on which ones I'm going to upload. So out of the 26, I think there's 26 cutscenes. I might only upload like 7. I can't really say for sure. I'd have to recount it, but anyway, that's all cutscenes for the game for anyone who cares. So this video has been a cutscene and chapter synopsis reading. I will do the same thing for Toukiden Kiwami once I complete the game, that is. I haven't actually completed it, but I have already been uploading cutscenes separately for that game anyway, but once I actually complete the whole game, I will go through and do the same thing for that one. But we'll see what happens, because Toukiden Kiwami is actually longer than this one. This one's only six chapters, and Kiwami I think was like 12 or something, and I'm barely on 8, so... or 9, I forget. So we'll see what happens. So I guess, thanks for watching if you did. I'm Stubborn Sage.